All right, we back again, and let me just start off this video by saying, a lot of people say not a lot of people. I'm not going to say a lot of people. I've had a couple of people come to us and say that we are some kind of way against black women. No, it's the exact opposite. We're for black women, but we have to tell you the truth. Now, we're not going to be. We don't try to be brutal, but we try to be direct and try to be as clear as possible so that you could see the reality of what's going on. Because a lot of times as a woman, you really don't have to live in reality because men are telling you all kind of stuff you want to hear until you get to a certain age, and then, of course, the truth starts to come out on you. But, if we can start getting this truth out a little earlier, maybe we can save some of these people and we can start building some of these black relationships in a good way, because we won't have people following the rabbit hole to places where at the end all you got is you and your tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so today's topic is about this video I saw called Hypersexual Female Rap is Misleading. And it's basically a young sister talking about how, rap is misleading, or where it's misleading. Well, I'm gonna let her explain what she's talking about. Let's take a look, and we just dissect it as we go.
I never hear. One thing I never hear about me having a bad name with in the streets. I don't hear I'm hoeing around. That's a good thing.
You don't have a lot on your numbers ain't high.
I can't. All that mileage, no.
Guy that you want, but you also talk about how you're trying to keep your body count low by just messing with your exes.
Yes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. My name is T.
So this is the young lady that will be doing the I don't want to say she'll be breaking down her opinion of this situation from her perspective as a young girl.
Today we have a lot to unpack, so let's just do this. Feminism is nothing new. The fight for female sexual autonomy and sexual liberation, nothing new. It's taken black female artists so long to be comfortable with vividly expressing their sexuality through their music, but
okay, so her perspective is because black women were more tasteful, they weren't comfortable expressing their sexuality in music. I'm assuming that's what she's saying. She ain't clearly defining what she's saying. But she just basically said that now that you can have a song like WAP out there or other different songs out there, and like I said, I don't have a personal problem with this. On this platform, we don't have a personal problem with people expressing themselves sexually. What we want to make sure is that we're doing it at the right time. Like, I am a man and I have children. I wouldn't have sex in front of my children because I know that's the wrong time to do that. Even though I would love to have sex, I won't have sex in front of my children. And so, and the reason why I wouldn't do that is because they probably wouldn't understand that behavior at that time. Their minds wouldn't be ready to handle why that behavior is necessary and why we would need to do that and all of the particulars involved. Therefore, they may misunderstand that behavior and not it may do something to their mental growth at the time, because it would shock them, or maybe it may shock them, or it may put them on the wrong page. So to avoid that, I wouldn't have sex in front of my children. I wouldn't have sex in front of my children after they were grown anyway, but I just wouldn't do it, especially when they're children. That's just absolutely, I wouldn't do it anytime, but I mean, definitely the reasoning when it's more, I could say, damaging to them when they're children. So that's where we're at here. Okay, moving on.
The time has finally come, and I gotta say, I'm geeked as fuck. Or so I thought. Some rappers, right, they stand firm in what they say. Shout out to Cupcake, okay? She talks her mess and she backs it up. But for some rappers, notably the ones with more popularity and more influence, that's not really the case. The tone in which they talk about sex in their music versus how they talk about it in real life and in interviews completely contradict. Now, when I interpret these lyrics, it does scream female empowerment. It's promoting a reclamation of power that was...
Whoa, what power? You're just having sex. Where's the power in that? You're just talking about having sex. How's that? Where's the power? But see, this is a perspective of somebody probably early 20s, late teens, early 20s, that's talking about this is power. That ain't no power. Power. What's the power? Talking about sex? I don't understand that. Oh, maybe she'll make another video and explain where the power is in just being able to say, I want to have sex with somebody, or whatever, or breaking it down graphically.
One's governed by misogyny and shame, submission, all that icky. And their lyrics are not...
Can you imagine being in a relationship with somebody like this? Ay. Imagine you have to sit down on a couch and talk to somebody like this. Holy smokes. What do they say? Exercise in frustration.
Only promoting that I take pride in my sexuality, but it's putting us all on game that female sexuality is so powerful that we can use it to advance ourselves in social spheres and gain us access to privilege, resources, even capital.
See, now she's right about that. And that is going to change. That is going to change. The Me Too movement, you can thank the Me Too movement and the feminist movement. That is going to change because men are going to respond to that. The sensitivity in the marketplace, men are going to respond to that. Men are going to respond to that, and it's going to flip the whole dating paradigm on its head. And you're going to lose all of that so-called empowerment as far as capital and resources. You're going to lose that. Because the Me Too, you can thank the Me Too movement and the feminist movement, you are going to lose. Those two movements are going to force men, they're going to force men to change the way they think about actually how they approach women and how they deal with women in all aspects. And it's just not safe to deal with women in the old way anymore. See, what happens is women want you to be traditional, but they don't have to be traditional, and so they want to be able to move any way they want to move, and you still have to follow the rules. Like I have to operate within the rules. You can operate in and out of the rules. When the rules are fit for you, you can operate in the rules. When the rules don't work for you, you can operate outside the rules. But I still have to work inside the rules, and it's crazy. Therefore, men are saying to them, more men are seeing the overall picture and the danger involved in dealing with women in almost every aspect in life. The danger, the constant danger you are involved with, you being men, we are at risk. The constant risk that you are taking, just communicating to a female, she can take almost anything you say and misinterpret it into some type of sexual advance. So you are definitely at a disadvantage as a man in the climate that we're in now, and men are going to definitely respond to that, so get it while you can, because it's about to go away.
Very controversial, but can't say I don't love it. But you're telling me all of this in your music, and then you turn around in your real life and in your interviews.
Plus, the wall is coming. You better get it, and the wall is undefeated, and so you got two problems coming. So the men shifting their mentality to where they get back to the Bible, a more biblical version of women, which is, you here to help me. I ain't here to bless you unless you helping me. If you helping me, then I can bless you. But if you think you helping me just by looking cute, that ain't helping me. Because the wall is coming. I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how fine you are. The wall is going to get you. It's undefeated. So then what? You better have something else going on, because the wall is coming. And you can say everything you're saying now, because you don't even see the wall coming. It's coming. So if all you got is your looks to try to, oh man, man, it's so bad that, there's no, we got Michelle Obama, but man, not enough of our young women really will follow that example and look at that as they think she's subdued, but she's actually powerful. Now she is powerful. But anyway, let's move on, because I want us to see what young black men out there have to deal with in trying to get in relationships with women that have a high sexual market value. But that's it. So women in today's society, they don't even see. But before, you had to have a little package. You had to have a sexual market value. You had to have some long-term relationship value. You had to have some other little skills. You had to have a nice little personality and everything. You had to have all of that going on. You had to have a little package. In today's situation, women have busted down things so bad, they don't have to do nothing but just walk in the room. I'm here, everybody. There should be a line up in front of me and throwing money at me. Because I'm here. I'm cute. Right? They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to be polite. They don't have to be cordial. They don't have to be submissive. They don't have to be nothing. None of the traditional things they would have been. And I'm not saying, when I say submissive, I'm just saying in a situation where that you can give up the so being submissive, I mean, just being able to give up or be able to say, you know what, maybe you were right on this point. Right? Because you have to be able to be like that to have a conversation, have a discussion. But anyway, let's get back to the youngster. Let her go ahead and show you why young black men are going to have so many problems moving forward as far as trying to get into long-term relationships, even short-term relationships.
And you say, yeah, do all of that, but not too much. Don't do it too much, don't do it too often, and you can't do it with too many different people. And I understand that expressing your love for sex and your love to have sex doesn't mean that you're having it with a whole bunch of people. But when you put limits and restrictions on me like that, it's no longer liberation. It's no longer freedom. It's bullshit.
So guys, let's pause real quick for a second. Before we take this video any further, I want to provide a little bit more clarity on my viewpoints. So like I said before, just because you express your love for sex doesn't necessarily mean you're having it with a lot of people. I get that.
Okay, so you seen what we was looking at here. We're looking at all of this stuff here, right? And you got hundreds of videos like this being released every month, right? It put black women in this situation. So what is going through these young black men's minds when they got all these hormones going through them, and they got the culture telling them that it's okay to, it's basically the black women themselves putting out they're putting out a theory of thinking that this is what they want. They want someone to be like this with them, or anyone. That's not someone, anyone to be like this, because it's not clearly defined that, hey, this is my soul partner. I want to do something like this. This is in a man's mind. This is like, hey, whoever gets there first, right? It's like a box of Twinkies. Whoever gets there first can get the first Twinkie, right? So I'm just saying it's not right. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying we're talking about animal reactions to the female of the species, right? Okay.
Second, before we take this video any further, I want to provide a little bit more clarity on my points. So like I said before, just because you express your love for sex doesn't necessarily mean you're having it with a lot of people. I get that. But when these women make music with lyrics that are extremely explicit, and then they turn around and like brag on low mileage and low body count, it translates to listeners that there's something wrong with women who don't keep their body count low, or women who don't necessarily take pride in things like that.
Well, you as a youngster, you don't know. You don't realize that that body count creeping up on you is going to be a problem for you when the clock starts, when the timer starts. See, the timer haven't started on you yet. The timer will get started probably around 27 to 28. You'll start hearing that ticking. And once you start trying to translate a high body count into a long-term relationship, that's going to be a problem for you. That's going to be a real problem. You're not going to be able to say, hey, yeah, I hit so many different people. Whew. I've seen so many eggplants. There's nothing you can say. What guy's going to want to go in and walk into that situation? You know what I mean? Well, you're not thinking about it from a men's perspective. You're thinking about it from your perspective. And if your perspective is to have sex and keep on just rolling and having sex, fine, do that. I mean, I'm just saying, most women, that clock starts ticking, and then they start thinking, oh my gosh, now I want to settle down. I would like to, I don't want to be that old lady in a, nursing home with 10, 15 cats. I would like to have somebody by my side at some point to put that insulin in me, or to, rub my fingers because they're to open up my hand every morning. I would like somebody to be there to do some of that stuff for me. But obviously this chick can't even see this. First of all, she don't see the wall coming. Second of all, she don't see that things are going to change. The Me Too movement and the feminist movement are going to change this, change the climate, change the way men respond, the whole way men approach and deal with women is going to have to change, because it's just too dangerous to do it the old way. It's just too dangerous. You just see so many people on the hit parade now, on the Me Too hit parade. They can go down. You can go down for just looking at a person. One of the people that is after Governor Cuomo in New York, she is saying that he sexually assaulted her just by ogling her, just by looking at her dress. I mean, that's where we're at. You can get, and if enough people throw up charges, throw something up there like that. Look at all these people trying to get Cuomo to resign. Look at all the people. And he hasn't done anything that I've heard that him doing something that is, you know, that needs to go outside of just being disciplined. Maybe he just didn't know, or just you know, unaware. But see, as a man, you can't make a mistake, man. One mistake, you can just flush it all down the toilet. A woman can be out here and bag 300 bodies, put 900,000 miles on a vagina, and she expects to walk away into the sunshine. But that's not happening, and we're seeing the thing is changing. But anyway, I'm not trying to talk about what I'm trying to say. If you're a woman, you got to decide what you want. Like this young lady, I don't think she understands that you're like any other commodity. With you, wear and tear is going to be a problem. It's going to ding the price later. And if you keep on putting wear and tear on the product, it's gonna ding the price later. And so wear and tear plus time, you know, you're just not gonna be able to compete in the marketplace with with the new models coming out. And so therefore you won't be able to translate it into a long-term relationship. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't want a long-term relationship, you just want to have sex with a bunch of different people for the rest of your life. Hey, then understand that's what you're setting yourself up for, and go ahead and go. So don't say at 35 years old, there ain't no good black men out there. Of course there ain't no good black men. There ain't no good black men gonna try to find somebody with a 900,000 miles on a vagina, and they got, you know, the club been shot up, you know what I'm saying, more than an Atlanta nightclub. You know what I mean? It's just who's gonna be running to that situation? Plus the wall, you know, it's just plus the dangers of dating women, the dangers of being with a woman in today's society. It's just dangerous. Anyway, moving on. Plowing ahead, as Bill Burr would say.
And that's literally one of the most classic forms of modern slut shaming. In the fight for gender equality.
Whoa, slut shaming. Wait a minute. To tell you the truth. See, this is what I can understand about these young sisters, man. If you tell them that, now they can tell. Now the sister could tell me the truth. She could come and say, "Hey, you ain't my type. You too small. You too tall. You too this. You too that. You're not." You know, you just ain't got the swag that I'm looking for. She could come and tell you the direct truth. But if we tell them the truth, we shaming them. You shaming me. How is us telling you, hey, I know that later you're going to probably want a long-term relationship at some point. What kind of man is going to want? See, you're under the mystification that because you got people chasing you now, people always going to be chasing you. And that's not how any marketplace works. Markets shift and move. Things happen in markets. Just like now, in the dating marketplace, things are shifting. Women are going to have to do a couple things, but I'll get to that later. But right now, let's do this. Let's try to help this lady understand, or try to explain what she's unable to understand, is that men, the type of man that you're going to want to probably have a long-term relationship, is not going to want to have somebody in their life that has all that mileage on the vagina and has, you know, been shot up more than the gun range. They're not going to want that. Especially if they have the option of getting a younger, less used model, right? And they have to invest less because you're risking the same. Why should I risk everything on you when you are banged up, shot up, and scratched up, when I can get somebody with less mileage, and I'm exposed to the same risk? It just doesn't, and they're going to last longer, and the wall is farther away from them than you. Anywho, plowing ahead.
We have to first respect each other as women. We're not classifying, we're not shunning, we're not shaming. And we gotta remember, we literally just broke down the barrier to even be able to speak this freely about our sexualities. Like, we still catching heat for that alone.
If you're a California homeowner and you're still paying for electricity, then you could be missing out on.
So there's no need to create yet another barrier.
So here's
Wait
my
a minute.
theory.
Wait, there wasn't no barrier. We just were more respectful of each other. So respect, self-respect was a barrier. Ah, okay. See, I mean, just crazy, man, crazy.
Most women's ambivalence towards taking genuine pride in their sexual lives is deeply rooted in the desire to get married. Why do you think easy bake ovens and baby dolls are so popular? Because we still live in a society that raises little girls to view marriage and motherhood as the pinnacle of life. Nobody raises their daughters like, honey, when you grow up, I want you to be the type of woman who takes complete charge and authority over her sexuality.
Nobody goes, little girl, when you get up, I want you to run through as many men as you can. Go out there and put as many eggplants in your mouth as you can. Do whatever you can. Just go do whatever. Why don't they tell you that? Because there's something they're not telling you, and they are not telling you that the wall is coming. The wall is coming. See, they don't tell you that as a little girl. So you come out here like this in your 20s with your wings out, but lower your wing. The Quran says, lower your wing, because you think you something that you really not, because people been telling you do. Oh, you're right. You this, but you know what? Men been telling you everything you want to hear since you was probably 13 years old, right? Oh, you look good. Oh, you girl, you got a fat butt and that pants and this. So they've been telling you everything. What they ain't told you is the wall is coming. The clock is going to start ticking and the wall is coming. Those are two things they have not told you. As a little girl, they don't want to, because they don't want to stop your heart. Anyway. Those are two things that are coming for you, and they haven't told you that. So that's how come you can have your attitude like that. But that's why when women are not telling little girls that, because they know the wall is coming. They ain't telling you, hey, be strong, woman. Yeah, be strong. Be confident. Yeah, that's good. You can even have pride in your sexuality. What we're saying is don't run amok, because that's going to cost you later. That's going to cost you later. Because good men do not want women with high mileage on the vagina. They just don't. And if you want a good man, but maybe you want a Rudy Poop. Maybe you want a, kind of guy that's, not all that good. Okay, then hey, run up that mileage meter. Hey, knock yourself out and give him a tapped out, worn out, stretched out vagina. No problem. But a good man ain't gonna want a tapped out, scratched up vagina. He ain't gonna want that. He's gonna want it in prime condition as it can be in. You'll find out. Anyway, moving on. Plowing ahead.
Nobody raises their daughters like that. But can we say the same for how we've been raising our sons? Y'all don't hear me. A couple years back, there was this tweet that went viral, and if I could find it, I'm gonna put it on the screen. But what it said was, there's two types of females in this world. And there
Obviously,
was a
you
picture
don't
of
see it on the
Aisha
screen.
Curry and a picture of Cardi B. And then somebody replied to that tweet and said, if you play your cards right, that's the same girl. Our generation has this weird obsession.
What did that mean? I don't know. Anyway, maybe she'll explain.
With women who can maintain an image of like privately sexy and seductive, but publicly innocent and respectable. Me not mad up my pretty head for try to please some dogo boogie yaga boy. It not go so. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not about to bust my ass trying to adhere to that duality in order to preserve the male ego. If a man can't view me as both sexual and respectable at the same time, he is not the man. Woman who takes complete charge and authority. Y'all don't hear me. A couple years back, there was this tweet. What it said was,
Sorry about
there's
that,
two types
y'all.
of females in this world. And there was a picture of Aisha Curry and a picture of Cardi B. And then somebody replied to that tweet and said, if you play your cards right, that's the same girl. Our generation has this weird obsession with women who can maintain an image of like privately sexy and seductive, but publicly innocent and respectable. Me not mad up my pretty head for try please some dogo boogie yaga boy. It not go so. What I'm trying to say is I'm not about to bust my ass trying to adhere to that duality in order to preserve the male ego. If a man can't view me as both sexual and respectable at the same time, he is not the man for me. Because in the same way that I could sit down and I could reason with you and talk about intersectionality, I could turn around and be like, look, if you're trying to make his toes curl, you gotta, okay? I can do that because both of those thought processes house the same mind.
What has that got to do with you bagging a bunch of dudes? Okay. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense if you're with, if you're with the special person that you want to be with, but what has that got to do with you bagging, tons of dudes? The Duke football team. How? I don't understand. How's that relate to that? But I guess man, we got so much work to do, man. These young sisters' minds, man, they think this makes sense. That actually probably makes sense to them. Anyway, plow it ahead.
And neither one of them take away from each other. But unfortunately, not everyone sees it that way. Even in today's world of the independent woman, Black women still want to get chose. The fear of dying unmarried is very real amongst.
Well, let me see what this chart says. Share of married or cohabitating Black and white women across time. Okay, married Black, cohabitating. Okay. Now we can see from this chart already that the feminist movement has made things change a lot, right? I mean, you can see by the chart, it's made over time, just from the 80s to 2013. We ain't even talking about the situation in 2021. See the hit parade. Now let me say this about the Me Too movement. So I think every man is for actual, dealing with dudes that actually assaulted and created hostile situations for women. Yes, we are for that type of behavior being rubbed out. Yes, we are for that. We are for that. What we're not for is misunderstandings that are blown up into a situation where it's to the point where the only way to deal with it is now we just have to change the behavior. But anyway, I'm running long, so let me go ahead here. I just want to show that over time, even for white women, the women's empowerment movement. I won't say feminist because that might cause a problem. So let me say the women empowerment movement and the Me Too movement are they're just those two movements, which definitely had portions of them that needed to be promoted to make sure that women is in the areas of safety and jobs and stuff like that. Yeah, that needs to be. But the people that are misusing it, they are going to make the thing have to correct. They're going to make things seriously correct. Anyway, moving on.
Black women. A lot of Black women still want to be considered wifey material. And for that reason, they still care about what men think of them.
You will too. Once the clock starts ticking and the wall starts coming, you will too.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because men, time and time again, have made it explicitly clear what they think about women. Especially...
What do you mean? We love women. We love women. We just want you to be right mentally, socially and emotionally and physically. We just want you to be in the best shape possible to be in relationship with you. And when you think like this, you're not mentally. This is not the kind of. I don't know if it's young dudes looking at this. This is not a person that you want to get in a relationship with. I know you guys will probably look at this girl and say, "I'd bag her in a second," right? Okay, I understand that, but you got to understand, this person is talking. You can hear her clearly talking. You see the risk you are taking by dealing with someone like this. This is the kind of person that can have you sitting in a jail cell. So I would, just with an accusation, or just blow your life apart, just with an accusation. Just how crazy she talking. So it's just you have to think now. You can't just run around bagging people. If you do, it's a risk you are taking. You're taking a very, very high risk doing that. You can't operate like you could in the 70s and 80s where you could just bag people. You can't do that anymore. All you need is one woman to throw an accusation your way, and that's it. Job gone, family gone, property gone, everything gone, reputation gone, everything gone. All you need is just one person like this that thinks this way, that they're willing to just. All you need is just somebody throw some money their way and say, "Hey, say this about this person. Tell us your story." You gone. Anyway, let's finish up the video because I ran way too long. Oh my gosh.
Those of us women who don't give a fuck about respectability politics when it comes to our sexuality.
Most females be weak though.
Now who are these dudes? It's just a bunch of young brothers, right? I don't know why she threw them in there. Okay.
I'm very weak minded. Very gullible. That like you come to the crib now, you digging your shit out and you leaving. It's like a murder charge, bro. It's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony. If your girl got like 30 bodies, I'm telling you every day, your got 30 bodies. You're just a smut. You know what I'm saying? Bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, so these dudes are saying that they don't want a woman with a high body count. Okay, now I get what they're saying. Okay, got you. Even the young brothers are saying that. I always thought it was these cats maybe in their late 20s and 30s and up, but now these young brothers are saying the same thing. Okay, and they saying it's like a murder charge having that many bodies. I don't know, but that's the youngsters anyway.
Oh gosh, more than anything, that video gave me the painful reminder that men still use our sexualities as weapons against them.
Oh, what weapon? It's not a weapon. It's the marketplace, sweetheart. It's the marketplace. The marketplace determines everything. It's not no weapon. If you have that much road damage on your, if I have a Cadillac, a 1977 Cadillac with dents all over it, and then I have a 2021 Cadillac brand new, which one of them, who's going? But the guy is offering me asking for the same price for both cars. Which one am I going to take? It's the marketplace. And that's what they don't understand. Because of the entitlement that's out here for most women. They don't understand there's a marketplace. This is a marketplace. And the market determines what's going to happen. The marketplace. But they're okay when the marketplace determines stuff for them. But what they say, it's just, it's sometimes it's on your side and sometimes it's not. And in the beginning, it's on your side. In the beginning, you got a blank check in the beginning. But as you get closer to your 30s, that is not the case no more. Because the wall is coming. Right? The wheels start falling off about 27, 28. Wheels start falling off. Right? Start noticing, hey, the caliber of guys start going down after about 27, 28. Caliber of guys interested starts going down. Most of the time. I'm not saying everybody's the same way. Some women out there still practice the art of having a personality, being able to communicate well. Some women do. most are not learning those skills. And they thinking, oh man, if I go to the wig shop and I, do a bunch of stuff, I put a bunch of makeup on, I can write my own check. And you probably can up until about, like I said, 27, 28. Then the wheels start coming up. No matter what you do, the wall is undefeated and the wall is coming. And you're going to want probably somebody there with you when you hit splat. Boom. You're going to want somebody to love you in spite of that. But we can't get there. See, you got to show somebody something so that they're willing to invest that kind of time into you and that kind of love into you. Because you got to show them that there's going to be something more, because everybody's going to hit the wall. So if you don't show us this, you got something else, why should we stay with you when you hit the wall? You should have a package. People had a package back in the day, so that anyway, let me finish this video.
This is not an us versus them situation. I'm just stating facts. And I understand that group of men was not a valid representation.
She ain't stating no facts.
Of black men as a whole. But I mean, I'm 22.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Johnny, tell him what he's won. 22 years old. You think she's going to feel the same way when she's 32 years old? And nothing but scallywags are trying to hang out with her? But this is see, she's 22. She still thinks she's going to just step right off the carousel into a dude's Porsche. Right? Her and some other dude's children are going to step off the carousel into some dude's and another dude's Porsche. And he's going to be overjoyed. Oh, I'm so happy. Let me take you and somebody else's children to pay for. Oh, yeah, I'm there. I'm willing to risk my whole empire to be with you. But see, I'm trying to tell you, the Me Too hit parade and the women's empowerment movement, everything is going to significantly change. It's going to turn the whole dating thing on upside down. And you, women, you guys are going to have to learn how to, you're going to have to learn a couple of things. One being how to approach men. You're going to have to learn how to cold approach men. And also, you're going to have to learn how to accept massive rejection. Those are two things that's coming your way. Thanks you to the Me Too hit parade, and thank you to the women's empowerment movement. You and because men are gonna shift. They're gonna look at you like you should be looked at, and as a helper. You're not a necessity. You're an option. Just like men, we actually are a necessity for you, but because of this civilized society, you can look at us as an option. But I digress. Moving on.
I gotta deal with. I'm sorry for Me Too. But even if we got another group of black men who were older, more mature, more articulate, I feel like we would have essentially gotten the same message. They probably just would have used bigger words. So,
yes, you would have.
So when these rappers get in the booth and they start talking that hot shit.
Well, let me tell you, rappers don't speak for the average black man. They speak for a certain percentage of black men, but they don't speak for every black man because their experiences don't match with the average black man experiences. So I wouldn't put them as I wouldn't put rappers as a representation, a good representation of the average black man. The average brother in the street is not living that lifestyle and doesn't know nothing about that lifestyle.
You know that hot. It is very healthy.
Well, basically the type of dudes you like, because you probably like those type of dudes. And, and then what I don't understand is somebody like this, a sister like this, well, you like those rapping dudes, the hot rappers, right? And those type of dudes, generally speaking, I'm not saying all rappers are bad guys, but generally speaking, they just run through women. They run through women all the time. And so you pick a dude like that. He run through you. He don't call you. He don't be with you. Then he have a baby with you. He don't do nothing with you about the baby. I mean, then you pick another dude like that. Then you pick another dude like that. And then this type of girl, this type of sister will say, all black men are this way. You ain't, no. You just don't have the skills to separate or you don't have you can't fight your natural desire to be around a certain type of man or your perception of a certain type of man. You can't fight that right now. So you are attracted to your perception of a certain type of guy and his connection to resources and being able to do things for you. That's your perception. Once you get into the reality, the real world, and it hits you, ooh, ouch, you're going to see. Anyway, but I just don't like when all black men are lumped in together, because we don't lump in all black women. Some black women are, got their stuff together, and they understand that it's more than just having a package. I mean, it's more than not just being a cute face. That ain't gonna get it. With the average man, and not in today's world. But anyway, blown it.
Helpful and liberating to us women, but then when you get in interviews in your real life and you say something completely opposite, it defeats the entire purpose. Not only does it defeat the purpose, but it aids a misogynist agenda. Like, girl, you're doing more harm than good. I understand that ultimately these women are women
she's talking
before
about.
they're rappers. We all grew up in the same bull of women shouldn't talk like that and women shouldn't be like that, and
No, we're not saying that. We just saying you shouldn't do it in the public forum. We're not saying you shouldn't do that. You can do what you want to do, but you got to respect yourself and respect the our people, and just do it in a way where you can keep you can still be a mother and looked at as a woman of God and grace outside of your home. Inside your home, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But we just saying out publicly, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. And going out telling young girls to bag as many dudes as they can, to me, that's irresponsible.
A lady doesn't say those things. We all grew up in that same world, so I empathize completely. But just don't mislead us. All in all, I love these women to death. Seriously, I'm still gonna be listening to them. I'm still gonna be bopping. I'm still gonna be jamming. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I had so much fun filming this video. And if you liked it, of course, thumbs me up, subscribe, post notifications, comment, all that good stuff. And just remember, your sexuality is your own.
Okay, so basically, young sister was just, is another Pied Piper telling younger sisters that, basically she was telling the rap community, female rap community, she was disappointed in them not sticking to their guns and going out on TV, on national media and, kind of having the same perspective on the news as they have on their music. They in other words, she's saying you backing off of your music, and that's sending mixed messages. I say this. I say that you as young men, you should know what your counterpart is thinking. So just like in a debate, you should already know what your enemy is going to ask, the questions they're going to ask you, and you should have answers for the questions they're going to ask you already. You should already you should already know. So, you should know what your adversary is. And when I say adversary, I'm saying it like the opposite person in a relationship, a man. You should want to know what that person would want. Like, see, but I noticed that a lot of these young women it's not. That's not in their thinking. That's not in their wheelhouse. Well, what would a man that I would want? What would they want in a woman? And why don't I try to perfect that in my, presence? Why don't I try to perfect that? But see, because we as men, we have to think, what do women want? Money. Okay, we got to go out there and get it. You know what I mean? But women don't have to think that anymore. They just could say, hey, you know what? I can go to the wig shop and get a wig and it's on the crack. And now I can be the worst person possible and still get men. So therefore, why do I have to work on having a personality? I can be the absolute worst person possible. And men will still approach me. So there's no and I get that. That's not women's fault. I get that. That's something but I'm trying to tell you, a person like me is trying to correct that for you. I'm trying to fix that for you so where men won't approach you at all. If you have a bad personality, they won't come nowhere near you. I don't care how fine you are. They'll let scallywags get to you because that's who deserves somebody that's going to treat them bad, scallywags. And then once they realize they're a scallywag, they could change it. And they see the kind of women that they're involved in their life, they could change that situation. But I'm trying to help. So I'm trying to help that situation. I say men should stop approaching women. They should stop it. It's a very dangerous situation nowadays. It's so dangerous. When you see the actual stuff that a lot of men are getting called, they're getting challenged with sexual misconduct. It is really, it's really, there's no way to say, oh, you made a mistake. Here, let's correct that for you. We ain't got to throw you and your whole life away. But because in this situation, they just want to throw you away. Just get rid of you. Done. And I'm saying that is not good. That is not good. And so men are realizing that, approaching women is just a dangerous situation. I hope men just say, F it. They just let women go into clubs and let women go to clubs. And they just stop going to clubs and they just stop going to places like that. A little jazz spot, you listen to some live music, but like a club or the bar or something like that, or something where, it's just not worth meeting women like that. It's not worth meeting women online. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't see no profit in doing that. And I know somebody is saying, yeah, but I met my girlfriend online. But you're going to be the 1 in 1,000 that it works for. You know what I mean? And so we can't plan for the 1 in 1,000. We got to plan for the 999. Those are the ones we got to plan for. But it's going to shift. Men are going to stop. First of all, they're going to stop approaching women. They're going to stop inviting them out on dates. They're going to stop. Women, get ready. You are going to have to learn how to deal with high rejection, and you're going to have to learn how to approach men. You're going to have to watch videos on how to approach men. You're going to have to watch videos on different techniques to approach men and try to get a man to go to bed with you, because this situation it's going to just flip on its head, and you got the women's empowerment movement to thank and the Me Too hit parade. And I'm not saying Me Too is wrong. I'm just saying that because of the sensitivity of the situation, there's good guys out here that just have made mistakes that are going to just say that, and other guys are going to say, I don't even want to make one mistake. Because like a woman can just literally misinterpret something you said or did. That's why, man, I'm telling you, this dude Cuomo is getting. Now he is the first one that not the first one, but he is one of the ones that I've seen that has really, when you look at the stuff that they actually are saying this man did, man, I mean, it's absolutely just like, what? It's like that's something you pull somebody to the side and say, hey man, you did this, that was wrong. You know what I mean? That was wrong. You need to, now I don't know if they tried to correct this stuff, but I haven't heard anybody say they tried to correct any of his behavior or just check him on it. That's something you just check somebody on and say, hey man, that you was kind of foul when you did that. But one person don't do it. So if the first person don't do it, then the first person is responsible for the next person. It happened to the next person. And then the next person, they didn't say nothing. So the second person is responsible for what happened to the third person because nobody checked this stuff. Nobody said anything. So if you're going to get mad at Cuomo, you should get mad at all the people before you. Whatever place in line, if you're 10th in line, you should be mad at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 because they didn't say anything, and that's how come the man thought he was good doing whatever he was doing. When if somebody would have just went to the man and said, hey, you foul what you're doing, hey, you got to stop it. The man probably would have been like, oh, I didn't know. I'm just doing, I thought I was good. I wasn't trying to offend nobody. I thought I was good. But you're not good. So stop it. Right? That could have happened, but nobody did that to him. So he just kept on stepping. But I'm saying some of the stuff he did, just hugging people and looking at them. And you can't say to this person, hey, you know what? I didn't like the way you looked at me. I felt uncomfortable with that. Or talk to somebody in the camp and say, hey, can you talk to this person about this? But anyway, but like I said, I want to watch this video. I want to show how young sisters are so out of touch with the reality of building long-term relationships that, well, I'm not saying this girl represents all young girl, but I'm saying she represents of the ones, a lot of times they have the highest sexual market value but this is the way they think. They have the highest sexual market value, but the way they think is just so sometimes you got to be like, you now as a young man, you have to think more along the terms of what you got to step safely, because a lot of these women are bear traps, right? Look at all these people coming out on this man from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You got Bill Cosby sitting in jail. Absolutely no evidence of nothing occurring. It's all testimony of the people and him admitting it. But ain't no proof of nothing. The man sitting in jail. That can happen to anybody. What man ain't did no sexual misconduct? Of course you done sexual misconduct. There ain't no book out there to tell you how to act. You don't know until you mess up and then somebody check you on it. And then you go, oh, okay, I didn't know. I thought it was cool for me to follow you around and just go to your house and shit. People, you don't know this stuff until somebody check you on it. Then you like, damn, that was kind of crazy, huh? But you don't know. But these people could throw your whole life away. Meanwhile, a woman could run through the whole NFL, take every eggplant in the whole NFL and say, I was young and dumb. Blah, 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 blah. Case dismissed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just go, case dismissed. Oh, well, it's okay now. You ran through the whole NFL. It's okay because you were young and dumb. Oh, okay, young and dumb. Here I go. Wee. You can't stick those charges on me because I was young and dumb. Oh, okay. Anyway, just the whole hypocrisy and everything. It's just but the takeaway from this, is you young men, you have to start looking at women as options, not as necessities, as an option. You can pray without a woman. You can sleep without a woman. You can eat without a woman. You can work without a woman. And if I was you, I would avoid them like the plague at work. I would avoid them like the plague. I would definitely at work, I would avoid them. If you want to keep your job, if you want to stay on the job. Now, you're going to say, well, I know some older guys. I see the older guys talking to them and saying doing this or that with them and playing with them and stuff. Hey, man, those are the old heads. I would let the old heads do it. And if they're willing to risk their job over it, then that's on them. Man, you got work to do. We got to build the community. We got to build something here. You ain't here just to play. I know a lot of these guys on YouTube is telling you here to just bag women, and that's what you're supposed to do is get money and bag women. But no, we got something to build. We got a community to build. We got work to do. God got work for us to do, man. And so we ain't got time to, you know what I mean, get caught up in no drama, man. It is what it is. You let somebody who thinks like this go. Don't even, in my opinion, I wouldn't even bag somebody like that. I know most of you guys would be like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful, but listen to her talking. Listen to how she talk. This is the kind of woman that's going to 10 years from now say, hey, yeah, he did this to me. I mean, that's the kind of thinking that you're dealing with there. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, the takeaway from this, man, is just to, stop approaching women. Stop it. If we can get enough men to stop approaching women and just live their life, just enjoy your life, man. There's many things you can do other than being with women. There's many other things you can do other than being with women. They are, like God said, an option. They just an option. They're not a necessity. You gotta do. Nobody never said you gotta be with a woman. You got to be there. You ain't got to be there. If you're gonna be with a woman, be with the best one. Just like I have a lot of videos on my page about getting jobs. If you're gonna get a job, get the best one that's gonna work for you. Don't get no Rudy Poot job. And you could have gotten got a job with benefits, but you just was too lazy to go and search it out and ride it out and get it. No, get the best job you can get. If you can get it, that way you will save enough money to be able to start your own business. Because that's where we're trying to go, right? So we can build some industries, right? So your vote actually matter. You vote for somebody, it actually matter. Because you can pull your support from them and you can threaten them with pulling your support. You can't do that if you don't have no industries. You can vote and vote and vote and vote and vote, but that's a whole nother video. Let me don't go there. Let me stay here where I'm at. So anyway, like I said, young men, you guys don't approach women no more. Don't approach them no more. You just let them do what they're gonna do. All right. Peace. Oh, and please, if you like the videos that we got and like the content that we creating and the things that we trying to do, please support us. And we, if you can, however you want to, but we would definitely ask you to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you very much. I greet you in peace, and never, ever be the aggressor. Peace.